A lot of people assume that biostasis is just for the ultra-rich, but is that really the case? In this video, I'll be explaining how to fund cryopreservation through life insurance, which can make it much more affordable than you might think. If you still don't know what biostasis or cryopreservation is, then go back and check out our last video by clicking at the top right of your screen, and then come back to check out this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. There are a few different ways to fund your cryopreservation plan, the most affordable of which is life insurance. There are a few different ways to fund cryopreservation. The most common and affordable is to purchase a life insurance policy, the price of which can vary depending on your age and health. All that you need to do is purchase a life insurance policy that has enough coverage to pay for the costs of your cryopreservation. Then, name your chosen biostasis organization as the primary beneficiary. After that, all you do is pay the monthly installments every single month and you're covered. Once you have passed away, the biostasis organization would have access to those funds to pay for your cryopreservation and the maintenance of that cryopreservation indefinitely. In a sense, your policy is a kind of IOU that's paid out once it's time for you to be cryopreserved. Therefore, it is critical that your policy has sufficient funds available to cover all of the necessary costs associated with cryopreservation. For example, for Tomorrow Biostasis, a minimum payout of 100,000 euros is required. There are different types of insurance policies that are available. Depending on your age and other health factors, Tomorrow Biostasis recommends taking out a term life insurance policy with one of our partner organizations. This type of insurance is a fixed-term contract, which means that there's an end date which is already agreed upon once the contract is made. However, you are more than welcome to find your own provider or alternate source of funding. If you pass away during the term, then the contracted benefit is paid out to the designated beneficiary. In this case, that would be the biostasis provider. Term life insurance only pays out if you pass away before the end date. This is a beneficial plan because although you may not have the funds available to pay for the entire cost of cryopreservation right now, if you get term life insurance and then were to die unexpectedly, the insurer would cover the full cost. Intuitively, term life insurance might not sound like the best plan because it has an end date. Alternatively, you can also take out what's commonly referred to as a whole life insurance, which has no end date. But there are several key downsides to getting whole life insurance. For most whole life insurance policies, you have to pay in for several years before there are sufficient funds available for you to be cryopreserved. This means that if you were to die 1 year after signing up with Tomorrow Biostasis using a whole life insurance funding plan, you wouldn't be able to be cryopreserved if you hadn't paid in sufficient funds to that insurance plan. However, term life insurance covers you immediately. This means that if you were to die just 1 hour after the contract was finalized, the insurance would still be legally obligated to pay out the full amount for your cryopreservation. We recommend our members sign up with term life insurance so that they're covered immediately at an affordable price, and then start a savings plan, ideally at least 20 years before the end of their term. The savings plan would accumulate enough funds for the cryopreservation to cover you once the term life insurance has run out. If you want to discuss more about your individual case, we are more than happy to give you a consultation. Term life insurance policies do have an expiration date. However, you can still be covered afterwards with an alternate method. Here are a few of your options. Term life insurance can be extended until the age of 85. Of course, at this point, the monthly expense would be higher. Additionally, the insurance would re-evaluate your health before extending the coverage. If you have any major medical developments, the insurance can deny your extension. This would last until the end of your life. It's essentially a savings plan that would ensure that there are enough funds available to pay for your cryopreservation once the term life insurance runs out. Since the funds to pay for cryopreservation need to be accumulated before the end of your insurance, This method needs to be set up long before the end of the term life insurance. Most people have accumulated significantly more wealth by the time they're 60 to 70 as opposed to 30 to 40. This means that by the time your term life insurance runs out, you should be in a much better position to pay for your cryopreservation directly. Additionally, we are actively working towards bringing the cost of cryopreservation down significantly. Just like with any other technology, as demand increases and more people use it and it can be more mass-produced, the cost comes down. This means that paying for cryopreservation directly will likely be much cheaper when your term life insurance runs out than it is right now. The sooner you sign up, the sooner that you'll be insured against the risk of an unexpected death, as well as leaving your options open to make sure that you aren't uninsurable in the future. The sooner you get your plan in motion, the better off you'll be. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to book a call with one of our team members using the link in the description down below. Or if you think you're ready, sign up directly on tomorrowbiostasis.com.